week goes, right? Doesn't it seem like we were just doing this like, I don't know, a half hour ago?
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's what happens when you get old.
Well,
The days turn into hours, and
you should write a song about it.
I
As the
should. I
days
should
go
give.
by.
I think we give up the whole YouTube thing and get into songwriting. I think I
Sure.
want to be a country songwriter
Oh,
since we live in Nashville.
yeah.
What
Don't
do you
do
think?
that.
No?
What's up, Nick Bama?
McBama.
Says hiya. James Fife.
Hey, what's happening, James?
Daryl Smith. Mitten Maysel. Bill McKiska. Doug Norton. 426 Henny.
Welcome all
Two Hacks.
to the Sunday night extravaganza.
Ford LTD 76. Abel D. Harry Australia. KG Moore. Peter Kovacs. Terrence Seymour. Stang Lincoln.
Wow, they're all rolling in like fast.
Yep. Josh H. MSR Make Shit Run.
Make shit run.
What's up, everybody?
Is that the name of your channel? Make shit run? I like that.
Yeah.
That's good. Of course, YouTube isn't going to like push you out, right? No, YouTube's going to say like, "Oh, you use a bad word. Nobody going to see your videos." but I love the name of it anyway. It's perfect.
So, what's going on, everyone? Let's see.
What is going on?
What is going
What's the
on?
newest
Jason Speedshop
stuff?
says hello from Texas.
What's going on, Jason?
Kevin Clancy, Mr. B. Nate, Reigning Slant 6 with a Chance at Cannonballs, Unfinished
Strangest
Project,
name in all of YouTube.
Watson Speed Shop, DM Outdoors, Dean Brown. What's going on, everybody?
Notice the dogs aren't barking. Why aren't
No.
the dogs barking?
I know, it's
It's
kind of
weird.
nice.
They're having like they're doing like a fire next door, and I would think the girls would be going berserk,
Yeah,
but they're
because
like,
you can hear them talking.
is that what it is?
No, Andy says, how the rocket look good?
Thank you, Andy.
Now, last night.
Yes. What? 2 weeks ago? 3 weeks ago?
We went 2 weeks ago, too.
2 weeks ago?
Mm-hmm.
And we never got a run. We got there just as they were closing the lanes.
Mm-hmm.
So we just turned around and came home. And then last night I just wanted just one squirt, and that's what we did.
Mario says, no more part talk tonight, just muscle cars, please.
Just muscle cars to the exclusion of Mopars.
No more parts.
I'm okay with that.
Aren't you tired of them? Let's just sell them all.
I'm okay with that. I mean, like, I'm Mopared up the wazoo.
What's
I'm
up,
fine.
Zero?
Let's talk about anything but.
Make a cooking video. Maybe. Let's see. Here's the cat. Here's DeSoto.
DeSoto. That's named after a Mopar.
Okay, DeSoto. He's trying to drink my
Yeah,
glass of water.
his tail is.
I know. I'm
yeah.
trying to move him. Okay, so.
I don't like that cat.
What's up, Barry?
Harry, what's happening?
Harry, not Harry.
Did I say Harry?
You said Harry.
Jesus Christ. that's the frontal cortex decaying. I'm on my way out.
Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I hope everybody had a good week.
With Maggie. Maggie, you want your coffee?
How's your Sunday going?
Maggie?
Tony,
Oh,
how's
my
your
Sunday?
Sunday? Yes.
It's going great.
Harry. Yeah, no, there's no Harry.
There's no Harry. We had a friend Harry who.
We did.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure he's still our friend. He's just busy. Busy.
If I'm lying, right? You just say okay. So we had a coffee house. We had a bunch of coffee houses, but we had one, and over by the college. And there was this guy used to come in, and he didn't speak. He
He's very quiet.
He was like, no, he was beyond quiet,
Yeah.
right? And he would creep on all the girls, but not intentionally. Okay, so he would just like sit down next to them and just stare at them, right? And after a little while, he would come in and like they would leave. People would just leave. But he was Korean. We used to call him the creepy Korean guy. Am I making this up?
I think that's mean. I don't think you can say that on YouTube.
But we called him the creepy Korean guy. So I says, you know what? Let's work with him. So I did. I tried to socialize him, right? And he became socialized. Kathy, am I making this up?
Yeah, we talked to him a lot.
Well,
He was just very awkward.
He was extremely awkward.
awkward, shy person.
He was raised very sheltered.
He's from from Korea.
Yeah, it was from Korea and raised very,
Yeah.
very sheltered.
Hmm.
Uh, at any rate, make a long story short, maybe 2 years after we first met him, he became an FBI agent.
Yeah, he's an FBI agent now.
So, yeah, he's an FBI
He's out
agent.
running around doing FBI
One of
things.
the good FBI. I guarantee
Yeah,
he's one of the
he's a
good
good guy.
ones. I absolutely, because
We brainwashed him before he left.
My brain-
Before he went to the FBI.
we round him up and sent him out. Am I making this up? Am I stretching
No, yeah,
this
no.
even the
He
slightest
rides a
bit?
motorcycle. Yeah.
Yeah, I taught him how to ride a
Yeah,
motorcycle.
He's a completely different person.
Yeah, he got married,
Yep.
like the whole bit,
To another FBI agent.
to another FBI agent, right?
Yep.
Well, I don't know if she's a good one or not, but
I don't know.
he's
He's
definitely
good.
one of the. He's a good guy. He's not one of Hey, gee,
Yeah, I'm sure he's doing well. Let's see. Ask Tony, how do you change radiator bearings? Is it radiator or radiator?
yeah, I like to use a banana for that. Yeah,
Do you like it when they're very ripe,
no,
or
doesn't matter.
it doesn't matter?
Does not matter.
Okay.
It's the molecular structure of the banana you're after, so it doesn't matter if it's ripe or.
But doesn't it change once it's overripe?
No, the molecular structure. No,
Okay.
No, it stays the same.
All right. Let's see. Insane Illusions Fabrication is laughing at that. I'm glad that he amuses you.
Yeah. Am I a joke to you?
Am I a joke to you? You think I'm funny? Let's see.
I knew guys like that.
Oh, I know. Let's see. Right hand or left hand banana?
Either way, it doesn't matter.
Okay. Doug Norton says, I prefer the brown banana for that job. The closer we are to banana bread, the better.
So who's my age, right? Who's my age, like around 60ish, and remembers in the 70s when you couldn't buy or find weed, you tried frying banana peels
Oh,
and smoking that.
demonetized.
Who remembers that?
Demonetized.
Who remembers doing that?
I never did that.
You-
No.
Maybe you didn't, but
No.
we all tried it.
Iceman says, "Holy cow! Bottle rocket launch in the newest video."
Yeah, it runs good, but that was a
Wasn't
second
bad.
that was a second gear launch. Launch is a lot better than first.
J Ski, dark shirt, dark background. Are you guys trying to confuse the snipers? What's up, Ski?
They're always sending their drones over.
I have to hit them with the hose.
Yeah, she has
Throw
to
bananas at them.
hose down the drones, right?
Oh my goodness. Too funny. Sam says it was a thing. I've never heard of that in my life. Vince Rencher says, I'm 58. I did the banana peels.
See,
What?
right? We all did it.
No, I never heard of
We
that.
all did it.
Zero says it was the high school rumor.
No, it wasn't. We actually, and it didn't work. It didn't work. Anybody who tells you that they smoked banana peels and got high, they're lying to you. But it was the thing. Oh, there was a paraquat scare. That was what led to a lot of that. Yeah, they were.
Don't talk about it. Demonetize.
Okay,
No.
who remembers the paraquat scare of like 1977?
Jay Ski says, and wouldn't a bigger shot of nitrous loosen the converter up in the rocket?
It would, but I'd like to be able to run the car NA also. I'd like to get the car to where it runs like 12.0, 1190 NA, just so I could stick somebody in it and say, here, go bracket race, go have fun with it. And I'd like to be able to run 1080, 1070 or so on nitrous. So for the thing to have any ability at all, because it's a 318, it's a low compression 318 in a big giant B body. So for it to have any normally aspirated oomph at all, it needs a much looser converter.
Anthony says, Puerto Rico watching. What's up?
happening, man?
Who's that guy from Puerto Rico you used to work on his car in Staten Island? What was his name?
I built that, what did I build for him? It was a Chevy.
Yeah, you built a...
What the hell was it?
He was a nice guy.
Was it a
He was
Monte
really
Carlo?
nice. I think it was a Monte Carlo, yeah.
No, that was a different guy. Built
You
a Monte
sure?
Carlo for a different guy.
He wanted us to go visit Puerto Rico with him.
Yeah, you want to take us to Puerto Rico?
Yeah, he's like, come with us. Come on vacation, you'll love it. He's so friendly, not like a New Yorker.
He was the he was the handyman for the
Hmm.
Ferulas. Remember the Ferula brothers? They used to work on their boats.
Uh, yeah, sort of. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Tony, how many gallons do you carry when you pull runs on Bottle Rocket?
Too.
Okay. So, Tony, are you happy with Bottle Rocket testing?
Extremely.
Okay.
Extremely. Like this I said in the video, I have to take probably 2 degrees. I set the pinion sign. I know. It's supposed to do things precision. It didn't do it precision. I set the pinion angle by
Girls.
I set the pinion angle by eye, figuring that I was going to raise the front of the spring. But as it turns out, the car works better with the spring in a lower position. So the pinion angle, instead of being about 3 degrees, is about 5 degrees, 5.5, almost 6 degrees. It's down there, right? So now on the top end, anything over, let's say, 75, 80 miles an hour, you feel the drive shaft going. So I just gotta put wedges. I was gonna put wedges in the front of the perches, just a couple of degrees out of the pinion angle. But that's it. Other than that one, and we talked about the converter, of course. But again, we picked the converter. My friend Shane designed the converter around what we think the car might need as opposed to any type of data, because we had no data. It was a 4-speed car before. Shush. It was a 4-speed car before. Here, go
Oh,
away.
that was Maggie's. That was the last one.
All right. Well, we'll get them something else.
Okay.
So, from all of the screwing around with the car that I've done in Mexico, and it's perfect. It's literally perfect, and now it just needs to be refined to get to where it's got to go. It's bulletproof. I'm glad I went with the 727. I was going to go with the 904 because I know there's like a tenth difference between the 727 and the 904. But the fact that I don't have to think about it. To do a 904, to do a nice 904, you've got to use a lot of really good parts. And you could use a really basic 727 or a fully built 904. So I'll sacrifice the 10th and go with the simple basic 727. And I think it was the right decision to make.
D Truth says, Tony, pull Bottle Rocket side glass and put in 5-gallon fuel cell to drop weight.
It has, well, no, side glass has got to stay. Remember, the car is all steel, all glass, bench seat, door panels. Like, it's a car, okay? And it has an 8-gallon fuel cell in the trunk. But no, it's going to stay all glass. Bottle Rocket is in the and also steel wheels. It has heavy steel wheels all the way around. Bottle Rocket is in its final configuration. Nothing from that picture is going to change from this point forward. Now it's just going to get refined and refined and refined.
Bob Bum says, induction options on new 440. You'll never go with FI, so hot rod, the T-Quad, or what new carb is worth a crap? Sorry. Leaning to sniper.
I'm not going to try to talk you out of it. Just before you go and you pull the trigger on a sniper or any other EFI system, do some research. Go to forums. Just read the issues that people have with these things. They'll be fine for 6 months. They'll be fine for 2 years, and on the side of the road, it's just dead. And then a lot of people never even get that far. They have problems just during the setup. It never runs right, and they go right back to carburetors. I'm going to say there's at least half the people in the long term, half the people who go with these EFI conversion systems end up going back to carburetor. I see it all the time. I hear it all the time.
John Sabo says, UT, did you
Yeah.
fix your internet from last week?
I hope so. I mean, we're on it right now.
I mean, it should be fine. I don't know why I did that.
Maggie's being a good girl.
Let's see.
You see Maggie? She's being a good. She's so good. She's so good.
Good. Let's see. Rude Mopar Dude started a Jeep Wrangler TJ project on Friday. LS3 with slant 6-speed manual swap.
Nice.
Should have some video after. Couldn't talk him into a Hemi.
That sounds like a fun project.
One-eyed cat. UTG. What disc brake setup used the smaller of the two upper ball joints? My drums, 62 Valiant, were previously converted to disc. Need to order new front end kit.
Anything 72 and down uses the small upper ball joint. So, but I mean, you could put the 73 and up big ball joint control arms in the earlier car. They bolt right in. You won't have any problem with that.
Nate B says, I know nothing about Fords, but my 14-year-old wants a mid-60s Mustang. We might backyard build a 302 just to keep him interested for now. Sounds like finding late 50 roller block is the way to go.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, okay. Yes, that's a yes.
Yeah.
Let's see. Tony, I know you... What? I know you're the car freaking heavy.
I'm the what?
Car freaking heavy?
Okay, I'll take it. I've been called worse.
Let's see. Abel D. Tony, do you leave your wallet, hat, and shirt to save weight when running Bottle Rocket? Will you shave for the actual run to save weight?
I don't carry a wallet. I never have carried a wallet. As an American, I don't feel that I have to. Well, it's true.
You gonna shave your head?
No, I'm not going to shave my head. It's just,
No?
but there's so little hair up there. It really doesn't make any difference.
Okay.
And like last night, I was getting in the car. It was a little chilly. Kathy was like, "You want your jacket?" I'm like,
No,
no,
I didn't think you were gonna
I don't
take
want
it.
the jacket.
I knew that you were gonna save weight by not putting your jacket on.
The jacket's like 3 pounds.
Right.
No.
Pure Stress says, thinking of converting my Geo Metro to a carb. Thoughts?
If you can make it work, sure.
Let's see.
Geo Metro. What kind of carburetor would you put on it?
Antonio B says, sending love from down under. Hope you're doing well, Uncle Tony and Uncle Kathy. Bottle Rocket is really going to be a sniper. It will surprise a lot of people.
I think it will.
Made Muscle says, don't run the sniper kit, run the Holly Terminator. Okay, he's talking to somebody else. Let's see. They're talking to each other. Okay. Let's see. They're talking to each other. Hang on. I'm scrolling. Take a breath of helium? What? Oh my goodness. Shish. UT, shave your whole body like a swimmer. You know, you're kind of hairy. You might drop a lot of weight. You are Italian, right?
I have extremely unorthodox thoughts on body.
Okay. Let's not discuss them.
I'm not going to discuss them.
Good.
But it would be extremely, like, way off
Okay,
topic.
Pure Stress says, no, they're talking to each other. Sorry. Is it worth it to do a diesel swap in my old Ranger? TDI VW 1.9.
I couldn't tell you. I don't know.
Let's see.
I'm sure somebody in this audience has a good opinion for that.
Okay, Joe K has a question. Best shoes for drag racing, especially driving 3 pedals. The best shoes.
I wear my work boots for everything.
You want something heavy, right?
You know what? I really hated
No.
with the fuel car with the fireproof boots.
You hated that?
I couldn't get anything under them.
What do you mean?
Well, they're made to work with sneakers.
Okay.
Okay, but I don't like sneakers, so I used to just put them on over my socks.
I remember.
So it's like it's like you're driving this thing barefoot. You
With
feel like
big
you're driving it
socks.
barefoot.
Yeah. Let's see.
I will never, if I live to be 10,000 years old, I will never, ever drive anything that requires protective gear ever, other than a helmet. I'll go with a helmet. And a lap belt. If it goes fast enough to require any sort of fire stuff or anything, goodbye. I'm done.
Jody's asking, how's the garden? How is it, Tony? I don't even want to look at it. It's so
It's
sad.
dismal.
We had a freeze. I'll
It's
show
dismal.
you. It's
yeah.
so sad. It's done.
It's sad. The little flowers down here, they were so
They're all
pretty. They're all,
dead.
they're all dying.
Everything is dying. Uh, I tried to save it, but then I was like, you know what? What am I going to do? Save it for another week? It's going to freeze. So I let it go. I covered it and everything one night. The first night I thought it was going to freeze. I was out here with every blanket I had. Let's see. Your garden has died too, Harley Hawk? Yeah. Yeah, it's winter is coming, right? Um, Chris says your basic carburetor adjustments video, you make all the initial settings with the engine warmed up, right?
Yes. Yes. Except for the choke, obviously. You have to adjust. You have to adjust the choke tension, and the choke pull off with a cold, obviously.
Really?
But then as far as the rest of the adjustments go, no, you don't do any of that until the motor's completely warmed up.
Mr. B. Nate says, do you prefer polyurethane or rubber for bushings?
I'm not a bushing guy. I gotta be honest with you. It's like, I know the polyurethane is a better bushing for things like handling and stuff like that. But I don't do things that like handle. So whatever bushing is available. Whatever bushing will fit the hole is what I use.
Stuart wants to know, when is the grudge race with Andy?
I don't know. Andy's got to get the car. Andy has to get the car back, and we've got to give him a respectable amount of time. He's got to reassemble everything. Like he literally took the engine off the dyno and then just bolted it in the car and sent it. So I don't think there's an actual transmission in it. I think he's got like a dummy transmission in it. He's not even sure what he's going to do as far as training goes yet. What are you doing?
I gotta get Lily.
Oh, okay. Go give them something to chew on. Give them chips. Oh, okay. Oh, there's Lily. There goes Lily. Okay. And there's Maggie barking over there. Oh, and there goes Maggie. She wants her bread.
I lied, it's not bread.
Don't lie to the puppies.
I lied.
Now they're gonna bark in there.
All right.
Okay.
Sorry, everybody.
That's fine.
Okay. 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 H. Florence. I'll ask again. Is 750 Holly too much carb for 307 stroker? Having trouble idling with a brand new carb.
Bottle Rocket has an 850 on it, and the next motor that I build for it is going to have a Dominator. So no, you definitely don't have too much carb. But you're in luck. You're in luck because I'm doing a video. I was going to do it tomorrow, but the stuff that I ordered to do this video won't be in until Tuesday. So I'm going to do it Tuesday. I do have a solution for you and everybody else that has a problem getting a smaller engine with a bigger cam to idle and work correctly with a large carburetor.
I have to turn the camera because Tony's rolling a cigarette
Yes.
and YouTube doesn't like that.
Yes, they hate that.
Doug Gronhoff sent you $5.
Thank you, Doug.
Thank you, Doug. I don't see a question here, but I'll look for it in case you didn't get it in there. Yeah, the last time YouTube made it 18 and up, you had a video
Right.
because he rolled a cigarette. So I'll wait for that. Let's see. Best way to get primer off of original paint without hurting it too bad.
I've had to do that. A polish, you can start with a rubbing compound. That's probably your safest bet. Use a rubbing compound to get the heavy stuff off, and then come back to a. You can come.
Okay, you done? Okay.
Yeah, start
Doug-
with a rubbing compound to get the heavy stuff, cut, and then use a polishing compound because that's what a compound does. A compound is taking off the top layer of paint. So that's I would say that's probably the safest way to do it. But I'm sure there's somebody in here who has more experience and more expertise in the paint field than I do. But that's probably what I would. In fact, that is what I've done in the past.
Doug sent you another $5.
Thank you, Doug.
Thank you, Doug. We appreciate that. It helps. Let's see. The green duster looks so good. Oh, Thanks. It's all right.
From a distance.
It needs love just like everything else.
Yeah, everything is filthy. Everything everything looks better on camera.
Yeah, when we went to the truck, I went in the store and I came back out and I was walking to the truck and I was like, oh my God, it's so dirty.
I know.
Because we didn't have time to wash the truck or anything. Like, Two Hexes, Tony, what are your thoughts on ethanol injection for an NA car?
I mean, it would have to be a very high compression detonation prone car for an NA car for it to really have any. I mean, people have been using water injection for eons. Um, I don't know. I mean, are you in a situation with the combination that you have where you're experiencing detonation? I mean, that's the main reason you would do that.
Uh, Doug Gronhoff says, love your YouTube channel, Circle Track Racer, and you have great info.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dr. T. We appreciate that. Let's see. I have a question. Has Tony ever washed a car with gasoline?
Yeah, well, I mean, oddly enough, yes, I have, because sometimes you'll get a car that's got a lot of oil and like mucky stuff on it, and the quickest, easiest way to get it off is to wipe it down with gasoline and then go back, because obviously the gasoline is going to take off any wax or anything like that. But I mean, yeah, it's just a surface, and if the surface needs to be cleaned, cut, why not?
Thank you to Doug Norden. He says, no problem. Oh, wait, wrong Doug. Let's see. Latest on Slaghammer.
Just sitting there, just sitting there. I'll probably send it the way it is. It's got a pretty severe amount of blow by. When I say severe, I don't mean it. It's not chugging, woof 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 woof, but it's enough so that after the car warms up, there's a lot of blow by. So I'll probably send it a couple of times before I take it apart. My main thing with Slagheimer is weight. The main thing with Slagheimer is weight. I gotta get weight out of it. Everything else is pretty much self-explanatory with it. Jetting on the carbs, I have no idea because we haven't made clean passes with it. So the the tuning of it is yet to be done, but as far as any major changes go, I want to get like 75 to 100 pounds out of the car. And there's so much extraneous metal all through. I mean, like there's ludicrous amounts of extraneous metal all through the car. I think pulling 100 pounds out of it shouldn't be that difficult.
What's up, Franco?
Frank, what's happening, man?
Kathy and Tony, BNR Racing. What's going on?
Franco, did you see? You want to get the pressed, Franco? I was just I was waiting to come on here. I was flipping through the TV, and they've got the California Hot Rod reunion on live. Right? There's nobody there. It's empty. There were more people around. There were more people on the starting line than there were in the stands. If you go back just a few years ago, the Hot Rod reunion was huge. Because Bakersfield, you had you had the March meet, which was always a phenomenal, huge turnaway crowd, and the Hot Rod reunion, which was like, it was a Hot Rod reunion. It was like the go-to. You had to be there event on the West Coast. Nobody. It's a freaking ghost town. It's on one hand, it makes me say, well, yeah, I'm glad I kind of put the nitro thing behind me way back when, because I'd be riding. I feel bad. It's like these guys are just riding the horse, like over the cliff, and
Can't you say into the sunset?
into the sunset.
That sounds better.
Into the sunset, but over the cliff.
Oh.
It's a
Papillon
shame.
Cycle says, Tony, did you see the Hemmings thing about the four-door Barracuda?
I've seen that car a number of times, and in fact, I saw something. The guy who built it, I saw something recently, like within the last 2 weeks. I saw something that was done by the guy who built that car, but I don't remember what it was.
Let's see, 426 Hemi says NHRA pissed off all the Cacklefest guys a few years ago, and most haven't been back since.
It wasn't just the Cacklefest people. I mean, like the stands were empty. There were like 12 people. I mean, like, look, I'm not stretching it, man. There were like 12 people in the stands
JJD
while they were running Top Fuel.
JGD says, thanks for sharing all your knowledge, Uncle Tony.
Well, thank you for absorbing it.
Let's see. Um, Franco says, yep, NHRA pulled the heart out of that event.
Unbelievable. There's only 1,100 people watching it, the live feed. It's just, I mean, I saw the handwriting on the wall 30 years ago because when I was like really I had the nature of sickness, but I was looking around and everything looked unhealthy. Like in other words, like the state of the sport was looking unhealthy. There were fewer and fewer match races. There were fewer and fewer people in the stands. There were fewer and fewer cars. The ones that were around that were surviving had bigger and bigger sponsorships. The little guys were all getting squeezed out. And when towards the end of the period of time that I was in it, like in the late '90s, I, it wasn't fun. Like there was, I remember going there and saying like, okay, where's the fun? You know what I mean? And I had fun flogging the cars. That was always a blast. But the atmosphere around everything was just dead. Like there was no life to it. Whereas if you go back to like the middle '80s when I first got involved, there was activity. There was like, you know what I mean? How can I explain it? It was just the energy level was fantastic. And then just through the '80s and then into the '90s and the later part of the '90s, that energy just evaporated. And now it's like a zombie.
Ari says, saw a video.
Harry,
Ari, not
Harry,
Ari. Ari.
I love you, Harry.
Saw a video titled, Uncle Tony has been lying to us for years. I knew instantly the video was about the artichoke slash zucchini conspiracy.
I, I, I saw that too. The guy took clips from the live build. I have no idea what point he was trying to make. It made no sense.
Let's see.
My trolls, God bless my trolls. They go the
They've
extra.
got
They
too
go the
much
extra
time on
mile.
their hands. They
My
really do.
my trolls go the extra mile, and honestly, guys, I appreciate that. I really do.
Oh, Billy Bob Holcomb. He always tells me I'm doing a good job.
You are doing a good
He
job.
says, you're doing a great job, Kathy. Sorry about your garden. Maybe a heavy layer of mulch might keep it warm enough to beat the freeze. No, it's not gonna. Like, it's time. It's
No,
gonna be
it's all
warm
yeah.
this week and then it's gonna get cold again.
It's gorgeous right
Thank
now.
you.
It's probably about 50,
Yeah, it's
60
nice right
degrees.
now. Let's see. Need a lifter brand recommendation! Exclamation point. All caps.
I do not have one, man. Try to find new old stock. Try to find something that's in like factory boxes, like
Something from the 80s.
something from the '80s or the '90s. I have no recommendations. I have no recommendations. I stay off of Facebook as a rule, but I'll go on there because you're always looking for like things that may be happening or whatever. And literally every single time I've gone into Facebook over the last couple of weeks or so, there's somebody showing a wiped out lifter.
Yeah,
It's everybody. It's across
it's
the
very
board.
bad.
Yeah.
Joe Jackson says, R.I.P. Tom Hoover.
Tom Hoover died.
Tom Hoover died.
Wait,
Yeah,
which Tom Hoover? The engineer or the funny car guy?
funny car.
Oh, oh,
Yes.
Showtime. He was a good guy. He was a good guy.
Let's see. Um, I haven't heard a bigger bunch of chips since the Sandy Duncan cover up. They're talking about you're dealing with terminal rust when you disassemble a bed frame to use an angle iron for structure.
I've done
What?
that.
Let's see. Bill McKiska. Is a 304 AMC worth building up for performance? Trying to think of a cool oddball engine, lightweight hot rod.
I mean, I don't see why not. The only problem is you got to fight with like because the AMC the 304 has a cult following with the Jeep guys. Um, so you got to kind of like fight with them for the few speed parts. So like it's going to cost. It's not going to be a cheap motor to build. It's not, but on the flip side, it's a stout motor. They're good motors.
Stay Classy says, should I swap my Ford engine in my Range Rover for a Mopar?
I don't see why.
The Ford motor is fine?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it wouldn't be worth the effort. The Range Rover has got a base. It's got a Windsor in it. You know, just build a good Windsor.
They're talking to each other. Import still sucks. Sent you $2.
Thank you.
Does Schneider cams make their own lifters?
I don't think so. I don't know, but I don't think so.
You can always call them and ask, right?
Yeah,
I
they
mean,
would know better.
they would know if they do. I don't know if they would tell you or not.
From what I understand, there's like two lifter manufacturers in the whole world. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. But that's my understanding, and that's what I've gathered from reading about this stuff. But I don't know if that's true or not.
JJD says, with you saying that about lifters, Uncle Tony, we will now start seeing manufacturers going to retro boxes. Laugh out loud.
Oh shit!
That would
Yeah,
be a terrible thing.
that would be.
What's up, Lazy A-Hole Ranch?
I mean, go roller if you can. You know what I mean? That's the bottom line. And solid roller, because the hydraulic rollers, I had a bad set of hydraulic rollers, and again, it's an epidemic. Everybody who's buying hydraulic rollers is having problems with hydraulic rollers. I had a hydraulic roller that went bad enough that it on a bottle rocket actually, it got spongy enough that it launched a push rod through the rocker.
Jason's Garage says, I visited Tennessee for 5 days and it was awesome!
Mm-hmm.
Exclamation points. Do you like it?
I'm here for 20 years, and I would not
Not
live.
20 yet. Oh,
When does it become 20?
it's like 18.
18.
Yeah.
No. This house was built in
Yes,
2003.
2004 we moved in.
I was here in 2003. The house,
He always insists.
what is
We're
the
here
truth?
longer than we are.
The house, no, the house was built in October
Yes,
2003.
dear.
Go
We're here
look-
for 20 years. Did you know that?
The house was built here in October 2003. I came down at the end of
Yes.
August
Doug
2003.
Gronhoff sent you $2.
Thank you.
Thank you, Doug. Do you know of a do-it-yourself way to put rear discs on 7.5 GM rear end?
No idea, man. No idea. I'm the wrong person to ask for this brake stuff. I swapped the other way. I know the interchange on the Mopar stuff because I've sold so much of it. Big ball joint, small ball joint, uppers and all. But as far as like what swaps onto what, I couldn't tell you. I don't know.
Brian Morrow says, I had my Posi 8 3/4 diff rebuilt. What type of oil should I put in the diff? It's a sure grip.
Yeah, just any sure grip additive or Positraction additive, the GM Positraction additive, and it's actually a fish oil. Like WD-40 is a fish oil, but they put it in there for anti-chatter is all it is, so that the clutches don't chatter. Any auto parts store, just Positraction additive.
Justin Billington sent you 20. He says, on my
Thank you.
1973 Plymouth Satellite station wagon, 318 904 trans, and have a vibration through the car on and just off idle in any gear stationary. I've checked belt drive and ignition. Number 6 cylinder has lower comp than others.
Well, that
could
could-
that be it?
How much lower? Is it a dead cylinder? I know I honestly, brother man, I can feel that vibration because it's such a common thing. There's a couple of possibilities. At some point, the damper might have been replaced. It might be a steel crank damper on the cast crank motor. I've seen that happen. And then it'll give you just a slight vibration, I mean the slightest vibration, off idle on the 318s. Because people say, well, it's a neutral balance, it's a neutral balance engine, the 318. So you wouldn't think that the damper would make a difference, but it actually does. There is a difference in damper between several dampers between the cast and the steel crank version of the 318, and then the 340 has its own. The early 273 has its own, but I know the vibration you're talking about because I've had it in so many different cars.
So what could it be? Could it be the cylinder? The low compression?
It could be the one cylinder with low compression, but I would check the damper. I had What did I have? I had one not too long ago that had a weird vibration, and it turned out to be the alternator. That's another thing too. Try pulling the belts off the thing and run it and see if the vibration is any better or worse.
Let's see. Good night, Travis. Um, so Doug Norton says, I need to convert my Dana 60 full floater 8 lug to semi floater 5 lug. Is there a place to buy the conversion parts? Strange, Moser?
Well, probably Dr. Diff would be the cheapest place to do it. What you need is to set it. What Chrysler did was when they converted those rears for car use, what they did was they just inserted 8 and 3. They bought the pumpkins in the center section from Spicer, and then they just used 8 and 3/4 tubes and 8 and 3/4 axles. Um, if you were to pick up a like a C body rear, extra wide extra wide 8 and 3/4, you could use those tubes in the Dana housing.
Let's see. Doug Gronhoff sent you $1. Thank
Thank you.
you. Let's see. He says, have you ever cut and re-welded your own drive shafts?
I did, and I made a mess of it. So now when I
You give it to people to do that.
right, I give it to my friend Chuck Yoder, who's a really good welder, really good fabricator. So whenever I need a drive shaft done, I just drop it over at Chuck's.
Let's see. Party noises next door. Yeah, they're having a good time.
Yeah, they're having like a bonfire.
We should have one of those.
Okay.
You need a bonfire.
Turn away.
Oh, you again?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, cigarette. All right. DD Trampled. I have a 73 Roadrunner that the body is whipped and I have a stuck 340 in it. Is there any value in trying to save the car since there are only so many numbers matching cars to be made?
It depends how far gone the car is.
Mm.
I couldn't answer that, man. How bad is the car? What are your skill levels? What do you? If you don't think it's worth doing, you may want to just put the car up on marketplace and let somebody who's more familiar with the car and its value, or maybe has a better ability to fix it than you do, let them put a value on it.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Oh, you're not done yet? Oh, sorry.
No, I'm going slow. Going
He's
extra
going
slow.
really
Just-
slow. Finished. um. Okay. Tony on the big screen. You watching Tony on the big screen?
Oh, I hate that.
It's so weird, right?
It is weird.
I walk in the living room and I see you on the TV and I'm, what is going on with my life?
It's so unsettling. You know what I mean?
My life is strange.
It's very weird.
Let's see.
Something you have to get used to. So we're doing YouTube for like over 4 years now, right? And I've seen myself a zillion times because obviously we watch the videos, we're editing the videos,
Yeah.
so I'm used to seeing myself.
But it never really clicks.
But it never clicks
Right.
until you come in the house, you sit down, you flip on the TV, and there you are on the TV, and it's like, this is so surreal.
You know what?
Make it stop.
When it really clicked, somebody sent me a picture or they tagged me in a photo of them watching you on TV.
Yeah, I know.
Like it was them in the room and they
It's
took a picture
weird.
of their TV and you were on it. And I was like, oh, I don't know how I feel about that.
It's weird.
It's weird. Not allowed to roll on camera. No, YouTube made one of our lives 18 and up because he rolled a cigarette on camera.
Which wouldn't make any difference except we leave these up for like a day afterwards.
Yeah.
So anybody who missed it that night can watch it, and then we'll take it down after about 48 hours. So it doesn't, it's not that big of a deal, but still.
Right. Hello, hope all is well. Any update on Plan Z?
Plan Z was supposed to go to the track next, and it will go to the track next. I'm still in limbo with the whole Andy and the whole Casper and Bottle Rocket thing. So that's why I just haven't touched the car. It's just sitting there. It's ready to run. It's ready to go. I'm just in limbo, and I don't want to get involved with that car. And then I'm
'Cause
one
it'll take
person.
you away from, right,
Take me away from right. So
what you're
I
working
don't want
on.
to. That's the only reason that car is sitting there right now.
It's very hard. Like, I think that people don't realize, like, they're like, well, why don't you work on this and why don't you work on that? It's because, like, your brain can only focus on so many things at once. And when you get taken off a task, it's hard to get back in the groove
It's
again
bad.
and
It's
focus.
yeah. I have mega ADD, so it's hard for me. I got to stay on one car, one project at a time, and then move to the next. So the plan is right now it's the bottle rocket Casper thing. If by some chance that doesn't happen, it's back to Plan Z. Or right after that happens, it's back to Plan Z, and then after Plan Z, back to Slaghammer. So that's the three. Those are the three complete running cars that we have that need to be sorted. And then there's this, which is going to over the next couple of few weeks. I'm going to do a whole video explaining what we're doing with this car. Probably this week. Probably this week. But it's not
No promises.
it's not a quote project because I have everything to put it together. It all needs to be gone through. It's very time consuming. But that's going to be a mule that we can use to test different things.
Beast Killer 22 says, hey, Tony, I've been watching for a couple of years now. I've got my first classic 80 Dodge Mirada.
Congratulations. I like those cars.
I'm having trouble figuring out the throttle linkage and kickdown linkage. Any help?
I don't know what you mean by figuring it out. If you're having a problem figuring it out, it means that you've got a non-stock carburetor on there. You have to be more specific, and I could probably help you.
Okay. Doug Greenhoff, Doug Groenhoff sent you $1. Thank you, Doug. Um, out in the Midwest, I know some combines have Hemis. Would know the type. I know that's a lot to ask.
Yeah, they're all going to be Chrysler Industrials, and they're all going to be either 331s or 354s. And some of them you're going to find are the marine version that have mechanical rockers, and you can always tell those because the valve covers have dimples on them. So there'll be four dimples on the exhaust side for the exhaust rockers. Um, but yeah, they're all going to be Chrysler Marine. They're all going to be Chrysler Industrial 331 or 354.
Franco says, Tony, I have Kelly Bundy syndrome.
Nice, nice. I was hoping somebody would have that. I'm glad it's you.
Oh, Blue 426 sent you 20.
Thank you.
Just like my project is in limbo. No time, no money, and no idea what engine I'm going to use. Oh,
It's hard.
it's very hard.
It's hard. People, and you go back to the trolls, and it's like, you know, they. I'm not
Don't
even. I'm
even.
not
Don't
even
even.
go there.
Don't
I won't
go
even
there.
go there. It's hard. Building cars is hard. I mean, not just the money and the time, but the actual all of the details. You know what I mean? The engine and what combination the engine is, the fuel system, the wiring, the suspension, making all of these pieces work together that were never supposed to be together, or they're all new to each other. It's a huge undertaking. I give all the respect in the world to anybody who forget about seeing it through. A lot of people can't see it through for whatever reason, but anybody who's got the stones to actually look at, like a bare shell of a car, or and say, you know what, damn it, I'm going to build that. I give all the respect in the world to. It's not always possible to finish a project because life is funny like that. You know what I'm saying? It's like life changes, job changes, health changes, family changes. Every situation is fluid during the course of your life. So it's not always possible for people to finish projects. But it's hard. It's hard. Stick with it.
Howdy, Mo Perman, 1978. D150 says, Tony, you are no DD Speed Shop,
I know.
but you get a lot done, and I have respect for what you do. Keep it up, and thanks.
How could I ever compare to DD Speed Shop? Nobody can compare to DD Speed Shop. And they do everything they do in Canadistan.
Which is very cold.
Oh yeah.
We would be so miserable.
From what I understand, they're under a 3 mile thick ice sheet.
3 miles.
3 miles.
Wow.
Yeah, and yeah, there's all they have to deal with the woolly mammoths, and God only knows what they got to deal with up there.
Joe Brennan wants to know, hey UTG, do you ever eat dessert?
Yeah,
I should have bought a cake. I want dessert now.
I yeah, I eat a lot of ice cream, which I didn't for years. I mean, like a couple of months ago, I just got into this ice cream kick.
Because it hurts tooth.
Oh, yeah, please, yeah.
So he's only eating like certain things right now.
Oh, yeah, I have a broken tooth here, and I have a broken tooth.
You just
here.
broke that one,
Yeah.
yeah.
So this one's been broken for about, I don't know, 8 or 10 years. So I've been chewing on this side of my mouth, and then I broke this one here.
So now he's like,
So now I have to chew with my front teeth and then pass it over to the back, strategically missing this section right
because
here.
why? Because you're afraid of needles.
I don't do needles.
Right.
Done. That simple. I don't do needles.
So let's not argue about this right now. Let's see. What flavor ice cream do you eat?
I have a thing for vanilla fudge twirl.
He likes vanilla.
Lately it's been purity. Vanilla ripple. Vanilla fudge ripple.
Yeah. Yeah. Sensodyne toothpaste works. He says. Try that.
No.
You try
Both
that.
teeth are broken under. Say like they're intact. Up
No,
top.
they're fine. Yeah.
Yeah, but they're broken under. They're broken at the root.
Nice.
So every time
Maybe you should go get a
I
needle.
bite down on it, the broken part of the tooth digs
Okay.
into the bone.
Hemihead68 sent you $9.99.
Thank you.
It says, go get a needle. No, that's not what he says. He says, hi, Tony and Kathy. Question. What advantage does a 60-degree V8 engine have, or not, over a 90-degree V8?
60-degree V8. I mean, you're talking about flatheads. I don't believe it has any advantage at all. But I don't know because I've never really looked at 60-degree V8s. Yeah, the flathead is the only one that I can think of. Who else would have done a 60-degree V8? Oh God, 60-degree V8. I'm drawing a blank. I know there are others, but yeah, I couldn't answer that question. I don't know.
Kovoy will not. He doesn't like to take any medical advice. He's very stubborn when it comes to certain things.
I don't trust the medical establishment, and I don't do needles.
Oh, good
Period.
grief. All right. Cow the Destroyer says, Tony, can you do a video on the manual trannies that were put behind Mopars? I personally love the MP435.
Well, I mean, the only ones that I'm familiar with, are the basics. The 903 and the 745 3 speeds, the A230 3 speeds, the A833 4 speeds. I'm not really familiar with any of the others.
Zero says this isn't medical advice.
This is not medical advice. This is not medical advice. I'm telling you guys right now, I will die from an ingrown
stupid.
toenail. It'll be like an ingrown toenail.
It's not even funny, Tony.
I had a pretty severe motorcycle crash where I shattered my tibia, and
What's up, B-Fog?
I fought with them because they wanted to give me a shot of something, right? And I fought with them, and like there was a crowd of people around me, like doctors and nurses and shit. You remember this?
Please.
And I fought with them because they wanted to give me an injection or something. I was like, stay away, stay away.
This is the nut. You're such a nut.
I ended up. I checked myself out of the hospital.
You're such a crazy person.
So help me, I swear to God, I was still wearing the splint on my leg from the fire department. And I checked myself out of the hospital and then found an Egyptian. I found an Egyptian he was an exiled Egyptian doctor that he worked exclusively for a motorcycle club that I was friends with. So they arranged it for me to go see this doctor, and he casted it up and didn't try to give me a shot.
Oh,
If I'm making any of this up,
he's not making it
I
up.
should go blind.
Oh, can't. Exiled Egyptian.
He
I
was what he
remember I
was.
was there. It's all
You
true.
were there.
Yeah, it's
You
all
were there.
true. Oh. He put the cast in, and then he took the cap from a soda bottle
Yeah.
and adjusted the cast with it. He cut
First,
something into
first,
it and
okay.
adjusted
So
the cast.
he casted my leg. He didn't have his own X-ray equipment, but there was a hospital a few blocks away. So what he did was he made a cast. He casted my leg up, right? And he kept giving me pills, so it was cool, right? I had no problems. So he casted the leg up, and then he sent me to the hospital to get an X-ray. So I
Yeah,
went to
then
the
you had to go
hospital.
back so he could adjust it.
Right.
And
So
they would send you back again for another X-ray.
right, I kept going back and forth from him to the hospital with X-rays. So the first time I came back, he looks at the X-ray, he puts it up on the thing, he's looking at the X-ray, and he goes like that, just like that. So so he takes a cutoff wheel, like just a regular cutoff wheel, right? And he cuts the cast, and Kathy and his assistant nurse or whatever grabbed my foot in the cast and pulled it, and then he took a top from a water bottle, right? You know, the cap from a water bottle, and he wedged it into the cast, and then he wrapped it back up, and he sent me back to the hospital. So I went back to the hospital. I took an X-ray, and I brought it back to him, and he puts it up on the thing, and he goes like that. He's looking at the X-ray. So with that, he takes the wizard. He makes another cut in the cast, and he takes the top from a Bic pen, you know, like the blue plastic top, and he wedged that into the crack. And he casted it up, and he sent me back to the hospital. I got another X-ray. Went back to him, and he looked at me and says, "Good to go." He says, "Cut it off in 6 months.
Ta-da!
Consider it done." And it worked. Now, mind you, and Kathy's my witness. She's sitting here right now. Okay. So I'm in the emergency room after this accident. Okay. And the doctor comes in. Like this is about the same time they're trying to give me this injection, and I'm like, no,
It was a terrible accident.
no shot. Yeah,
You're
I was a
lucky you're
mess.
alive.
Yeah, I'm lucky I'm alive. So the doctor says, you Kathy, tell me if I'm making this up. I'm stretching the truth at all. The doctor comes in. He looks at it. He says, "You're going to lose that leg. We have to schedule you for emergency surgery." I'm like, "Lose my leg? Are you out of your fucking mind? I ain't losing nothing." And then I was like, "Get me out of here." So that's what I'm saying. It's like they want to.
My stress levels are rising just listening to this because
Yeah.
I was standing there through all of this.
Yeah, but look,
Yeah, you're fine.
I'm fine.
Luckily, yeah, you
I'm
got
fine.
lucky.
My leg is an inch and a half longer than the
You've
other
got
one.
loose bones in there, which is not good.
No, I'm fine. I mean, I walk on it all the
Yeah.
time.
Hemi Head 68 sent you $4.99.
Thank you.
Steve Magnanti did a special on school bus GMC V8 engines, only to discover they were all equipped with 60-degree V8s.
Oh, that's right. And they did the V6 too. They did the V12, right? The two 60-degree V6s next to each other. But again, see, I'm not familiar with the engine, so I really don't have an opinion on it.
What's the color going to be on the tow truck? We haven't really decided. Like, as soon as we're done racing, I'll start stripping the paint.
Yeah,
Is that the cats?
I don't know. There's all kinds of stuff happening.
Okay. So we haven't really picked a color yet, but we were thinking like those are cats. Copper. It must be DeSoto. Copper or something? Like
yeah,
that?
we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
I just saw, what was it? It was a Nissan, what's like the crossover Nissan SUV, like the one that they make now. I can't think of the name of it, but it was this beautiful copper bronze, right, color. Like, oh, it's gorgeous. I like that a lot.
This is this is not medical advice. The cats are fighting.
Yeah, that's not medical advice.
So freaking funny.
I will die from an ingrown
No,
donut.
you won't. You know, you could just go to the dentist and go get nitrous. I mean,
No.
it's like they'll put you out.
No.
They'll put you to sleep.
No.
You won't feel anything. You won't get a needle.
Nope, I'll just eat stuff that I can eat.
Tony, okay, let's not talk about this on the live. We'll talk about it later.
I don't want to talk about it.
My blood pressure's going up. Okay. What is your plan for the Dominator on Bottle Rocket? Really excited to see those upgrades.
That's a whole different engine. That's a whole different engine. But Bottle Rocket has an 850 on it now, but it doesn't. That's maximum for the little for what it is. It's maximum. But I'm building another 318. I'm using bigger heads. Those are the ones that I'm welding the combustion chambers down on, and that's going to get a Dominator.
Tony finally doing nitrous. Nitrous, do it 50 shot. Yeah. One story about Scotty. I don't know what that means. Doesn't Casper have a tunnel ram intake with really long runners?
They're not super long. There's videos on Andy's site, Unity Motorsports Garage, that shows all of the whole evolution of Casper.
Andy says, need you a mother bottle and a pump station, Tony.
That's coming. That's coming because the closest place to me, Tennessee Speed Sport, went out of business. So now I've got to find I just bought a bottle. There's literally, it's sitting in my truck right now. This afternoon I bought a bottle, a 10-pound bottle. It's a full bottle, off a local guy. So I got to get like another bottle or two. So I've got like 3 or 4 of them and just get them all filled. But yeah, it's going to come to that. I'm going to get another bottle.
Oh, Lori Rutherford said Scotty from New York did magazines with you. Scotty PG.
Oh yeah. So somebody just told me that they. Oh, it was in one of the comments.
Yeah, it was in one of the comments.
It was in one of the comments.
He went to his machinist.
Yeah, yeah.
Mentioned something
Scotty.
about you, and Scotty was like, I know him.
Yeah, Scotty and I had a lot of fun back in the day.
Let's see. He was a Buick guy.
Yep.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Scotty did the
Oh, Lori says he's my machinist.
Oh, okay. Scotty did the R&D work for Kenny Bell. Jim Bell used to send him anything that they were working on that would, the 455. He would send him anything that they were working with, intake manifolds, cams, and whatnot. And Scotty would run those things in a Buick. And Mike Thermos from NOS used to send him prototype stuff. In fact, I had become friends with Mike back when we were doing the magazines, and this is in like, I don't know, gosh, 1985, 1986 or thereabouts. And Mike Thermos sent Scotty the first fogger system. So the very first fogger, the very first a commercially available fogger, was tested on Scotty's Buick on 150th Street, and they refined the kit based on Scotty's input.
Amy says, looks like a beautiful night out there in lovely Tennessee.
Oh, it's gorgeous
It is
out.
nice. Andy says, Joe, Mixed Up Boss has a Hawaiian Cleveland Hiram with runners that tune for power at 7,000.
Okay.
Let's see.
Is that Andy? Our Andy?
Yeah, it's our Andy.
Okay. Hey, Andy.
Andy. Oh, roll up your windows. Yes. Nobody's gonna even know what that means. Like,
Yeah,
it's
that's
so
so
obscure, and
obscure.
I don't think that video is even up anymore.
I think we took that one down.
It may have been taken down. Let's see. We need to go through our videos again and maybe remove some of the older ones.
There's probably about 200 videos that need to
Go.
that are just dead. They're
Yeah. Let's see. Lazy Ojo Ranch has flurries tonight. Oh.
Oh, look, I got a notification that we're on live.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Let's see. I hope DeSoto's okay. The screaming has
Yes,
stopped.
there was cat screaming in utter silence.
Well, that cat, there's a cat that's been hanging around and he was in the house today. He just decided to waltz in. Let's see. Andy says, by the time I get Casper put back from Header Purgatory, he'll be able to do a cold start vid with Dominators. DeSoto is invincible. I don't know about that.
I tell you, I know he's used up like eight
He's
and a
getting
half
old.
lives. To be honest with you, he used to come, he used to come in back when he had
Oh,
nuts because
please.
we didn't want to fix him. You know what I mean? I figured it's just not fair, right? It's not, and I don't like cats. You know what I mean?
That's not nice.
But I'm like, well, it's not nice. It's true. I don't like cats. I'm not a cat person.
Mm.
But I was like, I felt bad ripping his nuts off because it's like, I wouldn't want that done to me. So he lived to go out and fight. That was his thing. He just loved fighting, and I kind of related to that. But he would come in. What?
Nothing.
He would come in.
Continue.
He would come in, and literally his face was missing.
Was missing. His face was
It's like,
literally
where'd your
missing.
face go?
It was a big chunk missing out of it. And as soon as it would heal, he would rip it open again and it would be gone. And
Oh,
his face was
it's
like gone.
crazy.
And I would keep trying to lock him in the house and he would break all the screens
Yeah,
and he would escape.
he would lay. He'd lay around for like a week till his face mostly
Yeah, I would
grew
get him
back.
healed.
And then, woof, he's back out again. He'd be gone for like 3 or 4 days. Then he would come back, and then like his shoulder is missing.
It wasn't even funny. It
But
was
but he
really
was
bad.
but he was living.
It's funny now.
He was living the cat life. You know what I mean? He was doing it right, and I admired him for that because it's
Oh.
like. But then it just got to the point that it was obvious he was like going too far.
Yeah, he was never going to heal.
He was
Like,
never
no
gonna
matter
heal.
what we did, like, his face was literally gone on one side.
Right. Yeah. So I said, okay, this is it. So
It's all scar
we went
tissue.
and we had him fixed, and I felt bad about it. I kind of still do feel bad about it a little bit because now he just lays around the house and he shits everywhere. He just shits everywhere.
Okay.
I'm gonna beat him with a freaking bat
Tony,
at some
don't
point.
say that.
What?
No, you're
Did I
not.
say that? Did I say that?
Yeah,
I didn't mean that.
that's... Peter's going to be on here now.
The cat literally shits everywhere.
Okay. Well, thanks for telling everyone that. They really needed to know that.
Now they do.
Zero says you can't take the fight out of that cat. DeSoto rules. Well, he's calmed down a lot, but I
He's
hope
calmed
he's
down.
okay now because he
Yeah,
really
he's right
can't
there.
fight. Oh, he came in?
Yeah, he's laying on top of a table that
Oh.
he's probably gonna shit on.
Okay, and poor still suck says, I really needed to know that, Kathy. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. Oh. DeSoto, yes. All right, as long as he's in the house and he's okay.
Yeah, I'm looking at him right now. I don't like cats.
I know, it's okay. He's a good cat, though.
He is a good cat. As
Yeah.
far as cats go, he's a good cat. I
Tony
just
would
don't
never
like
hurt
cats in
an
general.
animal. Remember the kids in the hall, that bit with the dude who just won't stop
Which one?
the dude who just won't stop fighting. Kids in the hall.
Oh, yeah. I was thinking the whitest kids you know.
Oh. Is that,
Nail
what is
gun.
that? I don't remember that one.
The whitest kids you know?
Yeah, what is that?
Oh, God, that was,
That's not Kids in the Hall.
no. Nail
Oh,
gun.
yo, I gotta look away. I'm not paying attention. I'm trying to read the comments. All right.
Okay.
You done?
Yeah.
Okay. Comedy thing. No, it's Kids in the Hall. I love the Kids in the Hall.
There was kids at all, but there was also the
Do
whitest
you know what?
kids
They're
you know.
old now.
I know, they're all got to be in their 60s or even
Like our
older.
age. Cats are awesome. Kids in the Hall. I remember the guy who had the wah pedal battle with Satan.
I think I remember that.
Kids in the Hall had a movie too. Yeah.
Which was the one with the pharmacist? Remember
It's been a long
that
time.
used to crack me up. That was the funniest
Bobby
thing.
versus Satan. Kids in the Hall crushing your head. Yeah.
Crushing your head, crushing your head.
I would have to do it to you.
Who was the one? Which was the show that had the pharmacist? That the guy was just he was a pharmacist, but he was like a pillhead. I used to fall out every time.
Uh, I used to watch Kids in the Hall waiting for whatever to come on after. I think it was Dr. Katz. I remember. I remember. I remember these are the Daves I know.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
song.
yeah.
Too funny. It was a great show. Let's see. Martin Mull. At least cats don't bark. It's true.
Yeah, give them that. But they make these other hideous sounds.
Yeah. Let's see.
All right, puppies.
Chicken lady.
Shush.
Remember the chicken lady?
Chicken lady.
Oh,
There's nothing funny like that anymore.
there really isn't. There really isn't. Hilarious.
Maggie is sitting there being extra pretty.
You can't let her out.
I'm just
She's gonna
saying
go crazy.
she knows how to get me to do anything. She does the extra pretty thing, and like, okay, whatever you want.
Carrie says my cat is an evil creature. Chris Freemesser says my cat's sitting on my lap right now. Let's see. Tom Green. Gotta go. Good night. Good night, Gabriel.
Good night, Gabe.
Okay, Jen. Oh, what is your opinion on the 440 source heads watching from Norway?
I don't have an opinion on them. I have no experience with them.
No.
No. I mean, 440 Source has a good reputation. I'm sure if you do a quick Google search on those heads, you're going to find all kinds of opinions on them. I've never worked with them, so I don't know. I have a thing. I like to. I can buy any solar head I want. Actually, I can get them given to me for free, but I can buy any solar head that I want. I like to work with I like to work with factory stuff, and I like to modify it myself. It's just that's my hobby. You know, some people like to build ships in a bottle. You know what I mean? And some people like to train cats or whatever it is that they do. I like to modify stock stuff. That's my hobby. That's what I like doing. So that's why with a lot of the aftermarket stuff, I don't have an opinion on it because that's not really what I'm into.
Doug Gronhoff sent you $1.
Thank you.
Thank you, Doug. Let's see. Let's see if he has any questions.
And I especially like working with low performance stuff. The kick I get from hot rodding stuff is to take things that aren't supposed to work and make them work. Stuff that's not supposed to make power, I like to make power with it. So that's why when it comes to a lot of the aftermarket stuff, I don't really have experience with it because I'm just not into it.
Joe Brennan says, what are the advantages of aluminum heads versus cast iron?
Weight is the only advantage. Weight and repairability. Cast iron actually has a performance advantage because it retains the heat. But that's it. Weight is really the only advantage.
Let's see. Can you do a video on cam timing, like using a 9 keyway timing set?
I've done videos on cam timing. The 9 keyway or the multiple keyway cam gear, crank gear, is going to be marked. Each of those positions is going to be marked. +2, +4, -2. So it's pretty self-explanatory. It tells you right there on the gear what it's going to do.
Let's see. This is mechanical advice. Yes.
Yes, this is mechanical advice.
Oh, funny. Zero. Anybody else check out this band? They do really awesome 1800s music, including Civil War music.
That could actually be pretty neat.
Is that what you want on the channel? Is that the kind of music we should use for our videos?
Punk Civil War era music would be awesome. Would be awesome.
Let's see. Screaming Seaman, UT, I've always wanted to convert a Ford 300 L6. Is that right? L6?
I6, a straight
I6.
six.
I couldn't tell if it's an I or an L.
Inline six.
Oh, okay. Into a turbo diesel and see how much power it can make.
You know, yeah.
Bear B says, what heads for your small blocks do you like, Tony?
Well, it depends what I'm doing. That's a really broad question. For the 318, I'm loving the early closed chamber heads. That's what's on Bottle Rocket. The heads on Bottle Rocket are the early closed chamber 273 318 heads. I mean, I ported the living hell out of them. I mean, they're as ported as a set of those heads could possibly be. Probably and then some. But for the small displacement motors, those are the ones that I like.
Justin Billington says, for welding up combustion chambers on cast heads, would you recommend a wire feed, or would a stick welder do the job okay too?
A stick welder would, I'm sure a stick welder would do the job, and you might actually do a better job using a high nickel rod. I'm going to do it with a wire feed because that's what I have. In the past, I've done it with oxyacetylene. The problem with that was when I went to have the head machined afterwards, because you can't do that kind of welding, that volume of welding in a head and not have it move around. It's going to warp. So there's going to be machining afterwards. And the problem that I found with the gas welded head was that it had warped. Every way you could warp a head, it was warped. So I think I don't think I'm going to have that problem wire feed welding. So I've never tried it before. So I'm with a wire feed. So I'm going to try it now. I don't think I'm going to have that problem with the wire feed. The stick is probably as good, if not a better choice than the wire feed.
Uncle Squirrel says, I'd like to see a joint video with UTG and DD Speed Shop. That would be a good BSing video.
Well, it's difficult to do because they're up in, well, I mean, they're off in this strange land. I think Admiral Byrd actually visited where they live at some point. But that's the problem. And then of course there's the language barrier. There would be a lot of sign language having to go on between us and stuff like that. But eventually we'll do something.
Nicholas Agnew says, hey Tony, just want to say thanks for the knowledge.
Thank you for using it, I hope.
They're off in the wilds, yes.
Oh yeah, they're off in a crazy place. I know that they wear pelts and they have feathers that they.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it's Canada.
Right. Oh my goodness. Good grief. What's up, 672E Galaxy?
I think they run all of their stuff on whale blubber too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sam says, hi Tony, will you ever mess with Windsor Fords again?
If somebody brings me one.
Well, that guy didn't want you to talk about Mopars at the beginning of the...
Right.
Remember?
I'm not talking about Mopars.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're doing good. You can talk about... You should just get rid of all the Mopar stuff. Wouldn't that be funny? If we just like get rid of everything.
It's crossed my mind occasionally.
I'm sure it does. Can you tell me where to get nitrous bottle filled around here, please? Where are
is
you?
Around here?
We don't know where you are.
I'm having to find it out myself because the place,
There's
Tennessee
nowhere in
Speed Sport,
Murfreesboro.
is gone. There's no place here in Murfreesboro. So, yeah, I like Well, before we came online here, I went and I
in
bought a full
Lebanon.
bottle from a local guy over here.
Uncle Tony's Nissan garage. How hilarious would that be?
Right? Just change everything.
Change
Just
everything. Like one day, don't tell anybody.
just
Like
be a
just
completely
plan
different
it, right?
channel.
Just plan it so that we go get completely different brand cars, and we get rid of these. And we overnight we just move
You know,
everything.
if I had like
That's what
whistle,
I would do.
if I had like Whistle and Diesel money, I would do something like that.
That would be freaking hilarious.
Just start all over again from
Right.
scratch.
And just make videos and put a video out the next day, like talking about your GTR. See, we don't have enough money to do stuff. Air cooled VWs. Rainey's Land 6 with Chance and Cannibal says no.
Two-stroke side.
Right,
That's it.
t-shirts. And you would have a yard full of Datsuns. Datsuns?
I couldn't get rid of our dogs, but we could glue really long ears on. Well, we've already got beagles.
Right. They have really long ears.
Just call them dachshunds.
Joe Brennan says unsubscribe. I
Well,
wonder how many subs we would lose.
We'll
Like
just
if we
shoot the dogs
actually
from their
did that.
knees up and tell people that they're dachshunds.
Oh, stay away from Scotty Kilmer's Toyotas. That's what we should do, just get old Toyotas.
No, I'm telling you, all their cool sobs.
Tony D's Passion for Prius channel. Oh, we need to make a lot of money.
That could be fun though.
Oh, it would be hilarious.
Excuse me.
UTG. Hello from Detroit. What's up, Eric?
What's happening, Eric?
UTG Mercs would be better. Doug Norden.
Oh, I would
Your
love-
ultimate Nissan Stanza channel. Uncle Stanza.
Uncle Stanza.
It's too funny. Man. Just please don't become another generic LS swap channel. Way too many of those.
Uncle Generic LS Swap.
Anyone say Yugo? Oh man. It'd be great. I would just like to actions. Just completely change the channel.
Maybe we'll cook something up at some point.
We're gonna lose the shop. Let's adapt to Yugos. Do you miss New York food? We have New York food.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have New York food. Like there's nothing here. The only thing like, we really have here is like a lot of New York seafood, which Tony doesn't eat seafood
I don't eat
anyway.
seafood
I
anyway.
do.
Yeah.
But we have catfish instead. So like I kind of miss that, but it's okay.
No, but we have, honestly, I think we have a wider variety of food here than we had in New York. And in New York, you have a lot of Italian places. I miss the Jewish delis.
Yeah, Jewish delis. That's stuff I miss. Like I couldn't find like knishes. I
Right.
was trying to find knishes,
Yeah,
and
stuff
you
like
can't
that we
really
can't-
find
we
that. And the
can't get here.
pastrami I got here was kind of dry.
Yeah.
It wasn't as good as you can get in New York, but
But the thing is, if you want, let's say, you're in the mood for an Ethiopian buffet,
yeah, they
We
have
have
that. I'm not sure. It's good, but will you be dressing up as one of your trolls for Halloween? That would be scary. Tony's Pinto Power Garage. I'm dying. Let's see. You could read Saturn gatherings in Spring Hill, Tennessee.
yeah, I forgot they used to have those. When I first moved here 20 years ago, there were Saturns
Yes,
everywhere. Everything was a Saturn. And I was working on cars, regular cars at the time. I was paying bills. And I was constantly working on Saturns, always working on Saturns. And they're all gone now.
Let's see. Do you like oatmeal?
No.
No,
Is it even distinguishable from wet newspaper? Because I don't really see much of a difference.
probably not. Let's see. Tony should definitely dress up as Brian Cabal. Oh my goodness. Aren't most current four-cylinder engines the Fiat Pinto design? Ari wants to know.
Fiat Pinto design. Not really. I mean, the Pinto design. What are most four-cylinder engines based on today? I don't know. I'd have to think about that.
Yeah.
I would have to think about that. I would think the quad four is probably more representative than the Pinto motor.
Tony D's Mitsubishi Mania channel.
China.
Mitsubishi. Lily King says, did somebody say Pinto? Great. By the bagels.
The first paying job I ever did was like 14 years old, and they changed the starter in my cousin's, and she paid me like $5.
Oh, Lisa?
Yeah.
Cousin Lisa? Let's see. The Jones says, thank you for your videos, Tony. I've learned more watching them than most everywhere else combined. Oh, that's
Thank
really
you.
nice.
That's what we try to do. We try, yeah, we try to get people to think. Honestly, that's like the whole goal. We don't try to tell people how to do things. We don't try to show people how to do things.
Well, you do.
We try to get them to think. Try to get people to think. You know what I mean? Look. There's more to this object, whatever it happens to be, carburetor, or distributor, or camshaft, whatever it happens to be. That there's more to this thing than meets the eye. And the whole purpose of that is to get people thinking about the parts that they're working with, which to me is like that's what the hobby is all about. You know what I'm saying? That's what the hobby is all about.
Am I Italian? No, I'm not Italian. I don't have any Italian in me.
I would go so far as to say that
But I grew up with Italians.
the only reason she made it this far is because she's not Italian. Right.
I know how to cook Italian.
Yes.
I've been around Italian since I'm young, so I'm kind of mentally Italian, but not exactly.
I am an Italian, but I don't like to be surrounded by Italians.
Don't like to be surrounded by Italians?
Right. Yeah.
They jerks?
They're nuts. They're all
They're
freaking nuts. I've said it before.
They're a little yelly. They like to yell.
The problem with Italians, right? So people don't realize this, because people don't, people
Eric's
don't really
half
think.
Italian.
People don't really think. Go back to
Mentally Italian, yes.
go back to the turn of the last century, right? Like the early 1900s, right? At the time, Italy was a beautiful place. It was rich in everything a country could be, right? Beautiful, beautiful culture, everything. But people what they did was, instead of going to jail, instead of putting people in jail or debtor's prison, which they had, they'd stick them on a boat. They give you a choice. Look, you go to jail, or you go to the United States. We'll put you on this friggin' boat, and you go to Ellis Island, and they'll stick a name on you, and you go do your thing, right? So we're all descended. Everybody who's Italian in this country, for the most part, are descended from criminals and insane people. This is who came. And those genes, they get passed from generation to generation. They don't go away completely. So that's one of the reasons why I kind of like shy away from other Italians, because they're crazy. They're crazy.
Harriet says that would be the reason UT made it this far. An Italian wife would have killed him years ago. Battle would have been crazy.
Yeah, no, I don't have time for that.
Nobody's got time for that.
No.
I'm a lot calmer than you when it comes to certain things. Like I'm able to ignore a lot of things. Let's see. You just described Australia.
Australia's another place.
Same
Exactly.
thing.
Exactly.
says, yes, so Australians, it don't make them bad people. No, not saying bad
Didn't say they were
people.
bad, but they're just a little
A
nutty.
little nutty.
A little nutty.
If you want to see the best stereotype, look up Vic Tibetet Tony Gaga. I don't know who that is.
I don't
This
know.
is not Italian advice, no. Got off the boat, get hit with a rock or a potato, then go to Ellis Island.
That's what they did.
I'm sorry. I'm
They
sorry that
came.
your
They
family
came.
had to go
They
through that.
came over here. These were desperate, insane people. They came over here. They got on a boat. They got. Just, they got on a boat, not even knowing that they're going to
They
get.
knew where they were going.
They
They
knew.
were happy to be here.
Yeah, they had
They
to get
wanted to
away
be
from.
American.
They had to get away from there. They were the dregs of society.
That's not true.
Well-off people, well-off did not come to the United States. There was no reason for them to come to the United States. We got the bottom of the barrel.
Let's see. I'm Heinz 57 here, but Texan. uh, what's your favorite motor oil?
I generally grab for Rotella only because it's like I know there's some. It's a good oil. I'm using for the first time. I'm using a synthetic. I have a like a whatever else, like a zero weight synthetic in Bottle Rocket. Like, the oil pressure
Oh,
gauge.
please, if I see one more comment about the oil pressure.
You start the motor, the oil pressure gauge goes zick boom. It's like it's like it's got the viscosity of water. It's literally nothing.
Uh,
But I'm using it and it's making power.
oh, people are like, you have no oil pressure.
You know shit. I worked hard to create an engine that had no oil pressure, and a little bit of it that it had, I got rid of it by using this like zero weight oil. It's funny. Seriously, you start and it goes whoop, poof.
People that's bad, so.
Well, it would be bad if you just really drive or anything. You don't want that. For my purposes, it was great.
Too funny. All of the comments were like, you have no oil pressure. What's wrong with your oil
I know.
pressure?
I worked hard to make it like that.
Oh my goodness. So misunderstood, Tony.
I don't want to be understood.
I know. Let's see. Mostly those from Sicily, Tony. A lot of poor people came here and worked like crazy when they got here. My cousin bought a lot of land in Las Vegas and ended up filthy rich.
And you got to give that to them. The Italians that came over here were workers. You know, you can't take any like as batshit crazy as they were dedicated, and they were good family people. You know what I mean? They came over. They had that family value thing, like more so I think than most other groups that came over. So they had good qualities. I'm not saying. I mean, I'm one of them. You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm talking about somebody else's lineage. I'm one of them. I'm from this, and I can recognize batshit insanity because I grew up with
Very happy to
all
be
of those
American,
stories.
though. Like they were like always putting flags up and have them hung across the street.
Yep. When they weren't knifing each other.
Right.
Because they would do that. They would do that. Neighbors would get into a fight about where the garbage pail sits, and they'd knife each other.
I don't know if they would do that.
There was an incident like that on my grandmother's block.
Was it really?
Yeah, Cameron Court. There's two old Ginzos that had come off the boat. They didn't speak English. Ended up having a knife fight over where the garbage pail was sitting.
It sounds so normal, though. Like it sounds like that. It
because it
sounds
was
like
normal. That
yeah.
was the
That
thing.
sounds like yeah, pretty accurate. Crazy, because they used to keep their concrete super clean.
Oh, they worship their
Yeah,
concrete.
like right, the front
They
of the
worship
house.
their concrete.
Yeah, you had to like keep it like everything spotless. So I could see them having a problem with a garbage
What
bill.
was the story with my great grandmother or my great grandfather?
Mm.
He cut his fucking girlfriend's face.
Your face because she wouldn't date him.
Right,
He did. She was beautiful, and she wouldn't date him. So he sliced her face, so nobody would want her.
right. That's that's
That's the
that's
level of
that's
crazy.
the level of we come from.
Let's see. Do you listen to Sammy the Bull Gravana's podcast?
No.
Yes is wrong and harsh. Yes, that's like a crazy person,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. Greeks got crazy too. I've heard that. Yeah.
Pretty
But
much everybody gave me.
well, that was like okay. So like, say, well, what year would that have been? Like your great mother.
19. My family. My grandfather was born here. He was the first born here, and that was in 1910.
Your grandfather,
Grandfather.
not your great grandfather.
No, my grandfather. My great grandfather came off the boat. All my great grandfathers came off the boat.
Off the boat.
Right.
Okay.
But my grandparents were actually born here, and my grandfather was the first of. Because they all had like 10 kids.
Yeah. But like, what year would that he got off the boat?
Probably like 1900 something.
No, earlier than that.
Yeah.
No.
My grandfather Yotis was born in 1910.
Right. So your great grandfather didn't get off the boat in 1906.
Yeah, they came. He was like right after they came here, and that's only one.
No, that's not your grandfather. That's your grandmother's.
No, that's the Yotis.
No, that's Lombard. I
Yeah.
can't even say the name because your grandmother put a curse on it.
Right. Don't
Like,
say the name. Right.
no, don't say the name. Okay, let's stop talking about that.
Okay.
Uncle Tony using that Italian crazy in constructive ways. I think you've done a good job using your crazy. Working on cars and stuff.
It's paid my bills. It's paid my bills.
Germans aren't uncrazy either. No, yeah, they're crazy in a different way. They're kind of crazy.
Who's that? Germans?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I like Germans. I kind of identify as a German. I like everything German. I like German culture. I like German food. I like everything German. Then I kind of tend to stay away from Italian stuff.
And says my Greek grand family came here in 1898. A curse. More info on this? No, I'm not discussing it. Right. Let's see. A great Italian American. 416 Iron Worker 0 says. UTG, will you be wearing t-shirts in a few months? I don't know what that means.
So like one t-shirts. I have like 40 of these.
No, you have shirts in your closet.
Yeah, I got a bunch of.
But you're always dirty, so.
I wake up every morning ready for action,
Right.
right? So it's like I don't know what I'm going to climb under. I don't know what I'm going to do. So I just throw on work clothes, and that's why it's just the same thing every day.
Good night, Dizzy Izzy. Let's see. Was that a coyote? Did your grandparents rebuild engines in the kitchen too?
No, but I think I talked about this. My grandmother on my side had a brother named Dominic, and he got killed in a house fire in like 1958, 1959, something like that. So he was a mechanic, and he was.
I have to move the camera because you're rolling.
Yeah, He was a mechanic, and he worked out of the house in Brooklyn. It was wintertime, and he was rebuilding a carburetor in the kitchen. And something sparked up, and he ended up dying in that fire. So my grandmother always said that I was
With his
Dominic's.
daughter,
Was
right?
that?
With his daughter.
Yeah, him and his daughter. And my grandmother always said that I was the reincarnation of Dominic.
Oh, I don't know if that's necessarily true.
I don't know if
But
it's
it's
true or not.
because
I'm
you
just
like
saying
cars. Yeah.
that's what she said.
Because you like cars.
But I was born with a love for this stuff.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like it's not.
No, you love trains, actually.
And trains too. And she had another brother who was a railroad mechanic in the 1940s, and he got run over by a train and killed. So if you believe in reincarnation or anything like that, I have the possibility of being inhabited by a couple of individuals.
You're not inhabited by anybody. Oh, you have crazy thinking, Tony.
I didn't say believed it. I'm just saying this is.
Gotta make a UTG clips channel. Clips? Like, what do you mean by clips? Do you want to do more shorts?
Yeah, yeah. I think maybe we'll put up the in-car video as a short.
Yeah, you do that?
Yeah, we could do that.
No, you can't do that. It has to be
Done
up and
right.
down on the phone. Tony's clearly possessed. He's not possessed. I think he's just tired and just talking.
I am tired.
My grandma always rebuilt her drum brakes and carbs. Did she, Frankie? That's cool. Let's see. UTG bloopers. You know, he doesn't make that many. I thought of it, but like we really don't have any. You know? The only thing that we have was like
Just stuttering.
is a lot of stuttering. So like that's really the only editing that we do. Like I'll take out the stutters because sometimes when he's on camera he'll stutter more than usual.
But I told you to save the stutters.
I can save the stutters and make a clip of stuttering.
Just a clip of stuttering.
But I feel bad because that's just making fun of you, and that's not
It
nice.
doesn't bother me.
Yeah, that's not nice.
No, I'm not ashamed of it. It's something I do.
Yeah, but it's, I don't know. It doesn't seem right. I like the stutter. Sometimes he does some really good ones. And I start laughing as I'm editing. And I'm like, oh, I feel bad. I'm sorry. But sometimes they're really funny.
When I was a kid, I used to stutter badly. And then it just kind of like went away.
Yeah, you never
as
stuttered. So
older.
like when you started doing it, I was like,
Right.
when did you start doing that?
Yeah, when I was a kid, I was like 8, 9, 10, like that age. I used to stutter bad. And then it just kind of gradually went away. And now as I'm getting older, it comes back.
I think it's because you're like trying to remember everything as you're talking, you know?
Yeah.
And like you're nervous because you're trying to get everything out all in one shot and you're on camera.
That's the, you know, that if there's one aspect of doing these videos that's like really hard, okay, is that like given the topic, whatever the topic happens to be, let's say we're talking about push rods, for example, it's weeding down what's important and what's extraneous to make the video understandable and add enough background information so that things are in context without going too far, without like rambling off. That's frustrating, and I think when that happens, that's when I start to stutter, because I'm like, I have like 5 different thoughts in my head that are trying to get through while I'm trying to just focus on this one thought. Does that make any sense?
Yeah. Because I mean, you don't do it through the day. It's really only when you do video.
Yeah.
It's not a stutter, it's a misfire. Yeah, like you don't do it in regular life.
No. But I'm not trying to weed through all these years of information to try to find facts.
Right. Doug Narn says, I sometimes stutter too. ADD, yes, too much info at one time. Right. Yep. Do bigger cams normally show a bouncy needle on a vacuum gauge?
You can.
Can't. Okay. Your brain is faster than your mouth. Believe it.
Much faster. Much faster.
Could Tony still video if you tied his hands down? No. I was filming a video, the one that you just did about welding the head,
Yeah.
and I was going in close, and you were moving your hands so much over the weld, and I was trying to focus because every time like you move like that, the camera wants to come out of focus because he doesn't know what to look at. And I was like, oh my god, he's moving his hands so fast.
I can't help it.
I don't know what to do.
I can't help it.
It's so funny. Sometimes like I feel like I have to tell you, you know, don't move your hands too much in this area when we're doing a close up.
No, I would not be able to.
Because you're talking about the weld and you have your hands like completely over it, like just moving it back and forth. Baby says, Tony, you the man, good night.
Good night.
Let's see. X says, howdy.
Howdy.
Tony, winter motorbike storage opinion, empty tank or full with stabilizer?
Full with stabilizer, but why don't you just take it for a spin around the block? Everything fresh. Put on your coat. Put on your coat. Put on your helmet. Put on your gloves, and just go around the block. Take it out for a spin.
Depends on where he lives. I mean,
it does. I mean, I used to ride motorcycles year round. I used to ride in snowstorms and ice things, and you know, take it around the block a time or two. Keeps everything limber. Keeps seals from drying up. Keeps, you know what I'm saying? It's not that big of a deal. Just take it around the block.
Thanks for the vids, Tony. I love them. Cat Rake says.
Thank you.
What is that? Is everything okay? I hear birds fluttering.
Birds are having a thing over there.
Yeah. All right. When I fell down in the snow, the old man's going to bed. Best regards. Good night. Bo happenstance. Click. Let's see. Loving the tow truck. The tow truck needs a lot of love.
It works great though.
It runs really good now, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. It sounded like Mothman. I don't know if you guys could hear that. Aliens. No, the tow truck runs really well.
But is Mothman really an alien or is he interdimensional?
Oh, I don't know. I have no idea. DeSoto just pawned a bird out of there? I hope not. He better not have.
That's what it sounded like. It sounded like him.
He was the editor of Mopar Muscle for a while.
No.
No. Am I still wanting to paint the tow truck? Yeah, we're gonna paint it. Like as soon as like we're done taking cars out, like for the winter, I'll start stripping the paint and start cleaning up the body. I love stripping paint.
That's your thing.
It's my thing. Let's see. DeSoto bringing home dinner. I hope not.
Half a bird here.
He's done that.
You know.
Are you gonna do a crazy drag scheme on the tow truck? What's a drag scheme? A drag scheme?
I have no idea.
I don't know. Oh, you mean like pinstriping and all that? Like, what does he mean? Like custom paint?
Why don't ask him?
I don't know. Like custom paint? No, we're not gonna do that. Butterfly Man doesn't sound scary enough.
No.
Waving checkered flags? No, I'm not painting that on the truck. Do a cool 70s tow truck livery. We can't put any like writing on it, otherwise we'll get pulled over all the time.
Yeah.
Flashy lights.
That's besides the point. I don't really want to. It's bad enough. You know, like. It's not like we can go places and people don't.
Oh, funny car paint with metallics or pinstripes. No. No.
Probably not. No, because it's a utility vehicle.
Yeah.
and it gets like it gets used like a utility vehicle. So I don't want to have to like treat it like a, you know,
Right? If the paint gets messed up, it's not like you can just touch it up.
right.
No, I don't want to deal with that. Um, let's see. Tow truck needs a boogie van paint job to go with slag hammer. Oh no. No, I just want to paint it plain. We want to be unrecognizable.
I'll never understand why, like, there are other YouTubers with their vehicles, and they'll paint their name like all over the side of it, and I'm like, do you really need to draw that much attention to yourself?
Well, that's their business.
It's our business too, but it
Right? But
doesn't
we're
do you
not
any good. But
normal. We're not normal.
do you really need to draw that much attention to yourself?
Yes, that's their business. That's what they do. Right?
Yeah,
Yeah. That's what they do. I mean, theoretically, it should be what we do, but we don't.
we don't. I don't need the money that badly.
That gets subs. Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
I don't need the subs that badly.
How about green like the duster? Oh,
But the dust is already green.
yeah.
No, I'm leaning towards like a copper, like burnt orange kind of thing,
Root beer would be really nice.
or root beer. Right,
No, you don't like
copper,
that?
copper, burnt orange, bronze, something like that.
Yeah. Dee Speed Shop is here.
Oh my God!
He says painting your name on the car is terrible. Learned it firsthand. What happened to you?
Yeah, why would you do that, man?
Did people follow you? We got followed once to a McDonald's on the highway. And then they wouldn't let us leave.
That was the craziest thing.
Like carloads of people got out and they wouldn't let us leave.
Wouldn't let us leave.
Sometimes you just have to go places. DeFeo Towing, we met by accident. Very funny. Yeah, no, like we should just take all the stickers off the cars too.
I don't mind the little sticker on
You
that.
should stop wearing a t-shirt
That's a problem, right?
and the hat, yeah.
That's a problem. Well, I have like 40 of these shirts, and I have like 30 of these hats, and I just keep cycling through them.
TD Speed Shop says, can park on the street, oh, can't park on the street anymore, plus UTG will show up randomly and find you in hotel parking lots.
That happens.
Yeah, we like to stalk people. What about it? Let's see. Dalton Miller's is excited for the 318 build. I want to see this so bad.
You know, we did lots of 318 stuff in the past. You can go back and watch that.
So how's DD's car now? I know that he put another video out, but I haven't seen the latest.
What do you mean you haven't seen his video?
Not the latest video.
How do you
no.
not watch his video?
Because I've been busy. I was sick all weekend, and today I tried to catch up. I know, I didn't see it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Dan
You don't get
and
the
Danny.
notification on your phone that
I
DDC
do.
Chuck
I
put up a
actually
video?
did. That's how I knew that he just put up another video.
Right there. Look here.
I know.
Look close. Look.
I know. You get
Look.
the notification. Right. I can't. DD Speed Shop.
Yep. See that?
Yeah.
Yeah. The only channel I get a notification from.
DD Speed Shop says, Kathy, I have 100,000 subs. Pay attention to me. I know. I know. You got your plaque. I saw that you got your plaque. I know.
I would have autographed it for you.
You're going to
I can do
autograph
that.
his plaque for him?
I autograph silver play button plaques.
Oh my God. It was fun when they came down here. We had a good time. I hope it's not getting too cold up there for you guys.
We were talking about that.
He says, I love you guys. I love you too.
Sometime before, I don't know, about an hour ago, somebody was like, "Oh, you got to do a collaboration with DD Speed Shop." And I'm like, "They're all the way up there." I says, they're under like a 3-mile ice sheet. They fight off the woolly mammoths and on whale blubber, and there's the language barrier. There's a lot of problems, with trying to do anything with a Canadian. And then, of course, we have to talk really, really slow. But that's okay. I mean, we
We need to sign his plaque for him.
have to bring it down here.
Okay, next time they come. He says it's terrible. We're coming down in February for my day job. We owe you dinner. Oh, nice.
I'll
You're going to
take
be
it.
here in February?
We'll go to Carrabba's.
Okay. Sounds good. Uh, that's
Are
awesome.
you guys really come down?
That'd be awesome, yeah. It'll be like nice and warm here probably. Well, usually not. February here is kind of cold.
February's a rough month in Tennessee.
Yeah.
Not compared to them.
No.
They, they have hail the size of dogs. It's terrible.
Don't bring the bears with you. Is Carrabba's any good? It's okay.
Yeah, it's our go-to, like,
To go out to eat.
just above slumming. We hit Carrabba's.
February is minus 80 in Chicago.
Yeah, imagine what it is with.
No.
I know Admiral Byrd had an expedition up to Canada at some point, and they had to turn around. They couldn't. They ran for their lives, actually. Canada. Operation High
Alberta?
Jump.
What?
Yeah,
Alberta.
Operation High Jump.
Oh my goodness. It'll be blue jean and jacket weather there. No, usually February is pretty cold here. We almost had last February in the truck, remember?
Yeah, February is we get winter in January and February. It'll be like it is right now. It'll be like this until almost Christmas, like December. It'll start to get cold, and then January and February are our winter months, like where it's fucking cold, right? And then March, something again.
Yeah, March it gets pretty nice. Let's see. Franco says Admiral Byrd was a very interesting guy.
Yeah, and he met his match in Canada.
Come on, Tony, do an ice dragster. We don't have any ice
We
here.
don't have any ice here, but even if we did, it's too cold. I've seen that. I think the ice drags are pretty cool. And ice motorcycle racing, that's all I want to have nothing to do. I don't want to go there or watch it or do it. No, it's too cold.
You don't like the winter anymore.
No, I'm done with the winter.
Was it last year that we left when it got very cold, or was that the year before?
That was the year before.
Wow, it's gonna be 2 years.
It's going to be 2 years.
Crazy. That we almost died in the
We
caravan.
ran to Florida. It was like the forecast was that it was like it was like an Arctic snap,
Yeah. It was
and they're
really
talking
bad.
about like
Ice
temperatures
storms.
below zero,
Mm.
and it was coming like in like 24 hours. And I says, get the dogs, put them in a van. We're going to Florida. That's what we just like
Yeah.
that. We just packed everything up and we ran down to Florida for a few days.
But on the way back,
Almost died.
we almost died because the caravan didn't have enough heat. And it was 17 degrees. Yeah, we almost died. Like
Yeah.
literally, like almost died.
She was in the back. It
There was
didn't
no
matter. It was still
warmth.
that cold.
You had the bags because freezing. And we just covered ourselves with
That
them.
was brutal. That was brutal. Let me tell you how bad this was. Let me tell you how bad it was. Right? No, seriously, right? We're coming up I-24 like at Mont Eagle, which is about 40 miles south of us here, right? And it's about 4 o'clock in the morning, and it's like 12 degrees.
There's nobody on the
And-
road.
And inside
And
the
it was
van,
icy.
Inside the van with the heat blowing, everything else.
Didn't matter.
It's like 15 degrees.
We got tape. We stopped and we got tape.
Stop and bought duct tape to duct tape every.
I'm in the van duct taping the windows.
We duct taped every bit of the
didn't
truck.
matter.
It didn't make any difference. The heat was completely overwhelmed by the cold, and we were about 30 or 40 miles from home in the middle of the night, and I'm like, I got socks on my hands, and she's in the back. We're dying.
We
We're
were.
dying. And all I could think of was, all we need right now is a flat tire, and
Right,
we're
we're
all
dead.
dead. Me,
true.
her, the dogs, we're all fucking dead. Done.
There was nowhere, like there was no exit that we could stop and pull off on because we're going over a mountain.
That was brutal.
And we were just thinking like, I hope the truck is okay. I hope the truck makes it. What was that noise? Remember?
Yep.
Is it sound okay? Oh, that was so
I
bad.
learned my lesson from that.
Oh, never again.
See,
Never
when
again.
I was younger, I used to do shit like that all the time. I never
But even a
thought
young
about it.
person would die from that. Like that was like very bad.
Yeah, no, never again. And that's what the daily life is like up in Canada. You gotta.
That's what DD Speed Shop does
This is
every
what the
day.
speech shop does every day.
Handy Manification sent you $20.
Thank you.
I wish my town had an Uncle Tony.
It does. He's by the train station.
Distinct Ogre sent you $2. Haha, I figured it out. Okay. Oh my goodness. Memories golden, yeah. Oh man.
I'm shivering.
I am cold too. Ralph Solentano says Charlie Chaplin once lost a Charlie Chaplin look-alike competition. Yes.
That's my brother Ralph.
Yeah. Oh man. Let's see. Eric Shin says finally welding my NZ 1962 Valiant Regal 770. Thanks for all the inspiration, Uncle Tony.
Thank you.
Okay, so we're 2 hours in.
Are we?
Yep.
That went fast.
Yeah. Cheating is competing says these lives are amazing. Love how you two are perfect for each other and can just laugh and carry on. Well, we're not dead.
Until the camera's off.
Right.
What do you mean by that? Fuck you.
We should do that. We should do that.
Why did you
We
say
should
that?
trick everybody.
Fuck you.
See, that's what we would do. We would do something like that. It'd be funny.
I automatically take on an angry drunk persona.
Oh yeah, a completely different person.
I don't drink. I'm not drinking, but it's just I become an angry drunk.
Oh. We're peas and carrots. You need a shirt that says peas. I'll be the carrots.
I like crayons and turkey. You know what I'm saying? Peas and carrots. Yeah, no, crayons and turkey.
Oh, sugar and insulin. Oh, sugar and insulin. All right. I can't. Well, at least we crack ourselves up.
We're more like salmon and aluminum. You talk about oil and water, right? No, salmon and aluminum.
Oh. Oh. Harry's laughing. It's almost the season for the turkey story. Laugh out loud.
Oh, geez, kumbaya, my turkey. Fat Tommy when he.
Oh, that's a story. Oh, there's a couple turkey stories. Oh, funny. Water and tobacco. Nice.
It's more like sheetrock and gumbo.
I can't. You gotta do that like next month.
Yeah, that'll be our Halloween
Halloween turkey story.
Our Halloween turkey story. Because every Halloween we break out the turkey story.
Do we? Oh, I was like Alzheimer's because I don't remember that.
It's a tradition we're starting this week.
Oh, all right. Okay.
Ralph, do you remember when Tommy burned down the lumberyard with the turkey?
Oh man, cracking me up, Tony. Salmon in aluminum foil, a little lemon wedges, some rosemary sprigs, salt on the grill. Yummy. Ah. Let's see. Vinegar, Lord, and anything else? All right, so Christmas marathon stream? No. No, Christmas time. Oh, let's see. Um, Cooking over open headers, water in the oil pan, ice cream and mustard. I think I remember that turkey story. Okay. Oh, what was
That
that?
was Poppy. She wants to come
Okay.
out. Poppy's
You
gonna
can
come
let
out.
Poppy out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ow.
All right, so Tony,
Oh, now they're all
now
coming.
they're all out because you let them all out.
Oh, yeah, I'll give them all cookies.
Okay. We don't. We're still live. Okay.
Here, have a cookie.
UTG Halloween party. We don't. We don't Halloween stuff. Like we don't do costume parties and stuff like that.
I am a costume
You are a
party.
costume party.
Here, you want this? Nobody wants it? Okay, fine. Fine, nobody
People
wants it.
should dress up for Halloween. We should get the girls to dress up as you for Halloween.
Okay,
Kids, yeah. Race gas and artichokes. Gasoline and styrofoam.
What, Poppy? What?
Okay, so
All right,
are we
that's
good?
it? We're
Yeah,
gonna wrap
I
it
think
up?
yeah, it's over 2 hours.
Okay. I'm like Dan's dad.
Dan's dead.
All right. So, guys, everybody, thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. Everybody contributed with Super Chat. Thank you so much. Doesn't matter. Arian Zero, thank you so much for moderating, man. Always appreciative of you guys. Ari, are you doing a live after this? Because if you are, let people know now, and they can go hang out over at your place. And everybody contributed Super Chat. Thank you so much. Everybody contributed just with your presence and your conversation. Thank you.
He says
equally.
he is. He's doing a live.
Okay, so anybody who still wants to hang out after this is over, head over to Ari's channel, and he does like an after show. Maybe we'll pop in there too.
Show on his channel. Everybody go over there.
Yes,
Thanks
we're
for
gonna
hanging out
we're gonna
with
pull a
us.
plug. Thank you again.
You guys crack us up.
Good night, all.
Good night.